Well, different players. Normally you get between 6 and 8 weeks rest. Obviously, you got 2-3 players that they've been playing with the national teams. So every player follows a little bit of a difficult individual program. But in general, you can be trained for 6 weeks, and that takes around 32 hours to get the bodies back into shape. So now we're starting the 11th hour today.
32 hours of practice, right?
Of work, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But some players are with the national teams right
yes.
now.
Yeah.
Which players?
Antolin Alcaraz, that he played last night. He played with Paraguay, and they drew against Venezuela, and he scored. And then we got Hugo Rodallega with Colombia.
Yeah.
So those are the only two that they are still away. And then Henry Thomas had extra time off because he played with Honduras in the Gold Cup this summer, and he's going to join us on Monday. So those are the only 3 players missing at the moment.
Being away at now, when you have your build-up training, how does that affect the players during the season? Because I guess you rather want them to be here.
Yes, yeah, but that's you cannot control that. Last year we had it with the World Cup. Next year we'll have it with the Euros. Every year
it's always something.
More and more there are more distractions. You need to start learning that that's going to happen. But then we work with the federations quite closely, and we got a very good relationship, and we pass the information, like it happened with Maynor Figueroa, our left back. He had a very demanding 24 months. He was in the World Cup, he had a very strong season, went to the World Cup, had a strong season, and we advised him not to play in the Gold Cup, and they followed our advice. So it's important that we got that communication, because the players need rest. You got a very demanding season, then you need 6-7 weeks for all the body to regenerate, and nowadays it's harder and harder to get there. But I'm quite happy with the group that we've got, that we've been able to get them a good rest. Antolin and Hugo are the only 2 that are still away in the Copa America, and we'll give them at least 2 weeks for them to recover before they coming back.
But now, next season, how does Wigan take the next step? Because obviously last year was very close for you, right?
Yes. Well, I thought there are 2 ways to look into last year. One as a whole, and then you can get your own conclusions. And as you say, it was very close, but with a fantastic finish. The way we look at it is that we progressed really well, and in the last 15 games, it really was our season. The way we performed in that period, in the manner that we got the points that we needed, and in the manner that we end up with the least number of defeats in the history of Wigan Athletic in the Premier League. I've seen real good improvement and progression, and we have to start the season in the way we finished last campaign. That's the aim. It's a very young group, but we got an extra year of experience of avoiding relegation in probably the most competitive Premier League season that we had. It was a real success. It was winning a title for us. So I really feel that the players gain enormously from that experience. And we really need to keep on at the beginning of the season.
And a fantastic finish, as you said. But why were you able to come through at the most important time of the season?
Because I thought it was a very good work building up. The game against Aston Villa at home in February. After that, I felt that we run into a very good run of form. Sometimes it's difficult to describe good run of form if you want to look at the results. I just felt we went to Stamford Bridge and we lost 1-0, but we were very strong and very good. We had 2 very good performances against Everton and Spurs at home, and we were performing really well. So you could see that finish was on the cards, because we were performing really well as a group. And that's what we have to do. We have to really bank on the all good work that we had last campaign, and make sure that we start this season in the same manner.
But then it really boiled down to the last 2 games, and you were down 2-0 home at West Ham. What happened during that game, and what did you say to the players during halftime?
Well, it was a high pressure game, because the expectations are huge when you get in that stage of the season. When you're playing at home, you have to win. playing against West Ham, it was the last chance that they had. So obviously, they were the levels of concentration and the way they played was very efficient away from home. I felt the first half we played quite well, and we were 2-0 down. But at halftime, it was more just to realise where we were, what we had to do in the second half, and have no fear. And the reaction in the second half was one of the best comebacks that I've seen in Premier League football. That game